Have you ever seen an animal that looks like nature took pieces from different creatures and somehow stitched them into one body? A duck-like bill, a beaver-like tail, webbed feet, dense fur, the ability to swim underwater, the ability to lay eggs, and even venomous spurs on the hind legs of the male. At first glance, the platypus looks almost impossible. It is a mammal, but it lays eggs. It has fur, but it hunts underwater. It has a bill like a duck, but it is not a bird. It has a tail like a beaver, but it is not a rodent. And hidden behind its strange appearance is one of the most unusual survival designs in the animal kingdom. This creature is called the platypus, and it may be one of the best examples of how nature can create something so strange that people once thought it had to be fake. When European naturalists first encountered a preserved platypus specimen, its appearance caused confusion and doubt because it looked like a mixture of animals that should not belong together. But the platypus is not a joke, not a mistake, and not a random collection of body parts. It is a living animal perfectly adapted to a very specific world, the freshwater rivers, streams, and lakes of eastern Australia and Tasmania. To understand the platypus, we have to stop asking why it looks so strange and start asking what each strange feature is actually for. Because in nature, the weirdest body parts often have the smartest purpose. The first thing most people notice is the bill. It looks soft, wide, and duck-like, almost cartoonish compared to the rest of its furry body. But this bill is not just for appearance. It is one of the platypus's most important survival tools. When a platypus dives underwater to hunt, it closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils. Imagine trying to find food in a river with your eyes closed, your ears closed, and your nose closed. For most animals, that would be almost impossible. But the platypus does not need to see its prey the way we do. Its bill is packed with sensors that can detect pressure and tiny electrical signals produced by the movements of small animals in the water. In other words, the platypus can hunt by sensing the hidden signals of life beneath the surface. A shrimp, an insect larva, or another small aquatic creature may be buried in the riverbed, invisible in the mud, but its body still produces tiny electrical activity. The platypus can pick up those signals with its bill, sweep through the substrate, and locate food without relying on sight. This is one of the most amazing facts about the platypus. It does not just swim underwater. It reads the underwater world with its face. Its bill is not a duck bill copied onto a mammal. It is a biological detection system. It is a living sensor that helps the platypus survive in dark, murky water where normal vision would not be enough. That means the platypus is not a strange animal because nature made a mistake. It is strange because it solved a problem in a way we rarely see in mammals. Then there are the feet. On land, the platypus can look clumsy. Its legs are short and splayed out to the sides, making it move with a somewhat awkward gait. But underwater, everything changes. The front feet are strongly webbed and act like paddles, pushing the platypus through the water with smooth, powerful strokes. The hind feet help steer, while the broad tail helps stabilize the body. What looks awkward on land becomes graceful in water. This is another lesson from the platypus. You cannot judge an animal outside the environment it was built for. On land, it may not look elegant, but in freshwater, it becomes a quiet, efficient hunter. Its dense waterproof fur helps keep it warm and insulated, even when it spends long periods in cold water. Its streamlined body slips through rivers and ponds, while the tail stores fat reserves that can help it survive when conditions change. Every strange feature starts to make sense when you place the platypus back into its world. But the platypus has an even bigger surprise. It lays eggs. For most people, mammals are animals that give birth to live young and feed them milk. But the platypus belongs to a rare group of mammals called monotremes. Monotremes are mammals, but unlike most mammals, they lay eggs. This fact alone makes the platypus feel like a creature from another chapter of evolution. A female platypus lays a small number of eggs inside a nesting burrow, then curls around them and keeps them safe until they hatch. After the young emerge, they feed on milk, but not from nipples like most mammals. Instead, the milk is secreted from special patches of skin, and the young lap it up from the fur. This combination seems almost impossible at first. Egg-laying like a reptile or bird, milk-producing like a mammal, and a body built for swimming like an aquatic specialist. But again, the platypus is not confused. It is not half bird, half mammal, or half reptile. It is a monotreme, a unique branch of mammals that reminds us evolution is not a straight line. It is a tree with many strange branches, and the platypus is one of the strangest branches still alive today. The more we learn about it, the more it challenges our simple categories. It asks us, what does it really mean to be a mammal? Is it fur? Is it milk? Is it live birth? The platypus shows us that nature does not always fit neatly into the boxes humans create. And that is part of what makes it so fascinating. But if egg-laying was not surprising enough, the male platypus has another feature that shocks many people: venomous spurs. On the inner side of each hind ankle, male platypuses have sharp spurs connected to venom glands. This makes the platypus one of the few venomous mammals on Earth. The venom is not used to hunt prey in the same way a snake might use venom. Instead, it is believed to be important for defense and competition, especially during the breeding season. The venom can cause intense pain in humans and can be powerful enough to harm small animals. This is one of the biggest twists in the platypus story. The animal that many people think of as cute, strange, and harmless is actually carrying a hidden weapon. It does not look like a dangerous animal. It does not roar, it does not have huge claws, and it does not look aggressive. But hidden on the back legs of the male is a reminder that even gentle-looking creatures can have serious defenses. This is why the platypus is so powerful as a subject for a documentary-style video. It keeps surprising us. Just when you think you understand it, it reveals another strange ability. A duck-like bill? Yes. Egg-laying mammal? Yes. Underwater electroreception? Yes. Venomous male spurs? Also yes. It feels like nature put several unbelievable ideas into one small animal and somehow made them work together. But the most important part is that these features are not random. They are all connected to survival. The bill helps it find food underwater. The webbed feet help it swim. The fur helps it stay warm. The tail helps with fat storage and stability. The eggs connect it to its monotreme lineage. The venomous spurs help males protect themselves or compete. The platypus is not a mixed-up animal. It is a highly specialized animal. It is only strange to us because our expectations are too simple. We expect mammals to look a certain way. We expect bills to belong to birds. We expect venom to belong to snakes, spiders, or scorpions. We expect egg-laying to belong to reptiles and birds. The platypus breaks all of those expectations at once. And that is why it is unforgettable. In its natural habitat, the platypus spends much of its time in freshwater systems. It forages mostly in the water, often searching for aquatic invertebrates such as insect larvae, small crustaceans, worms, and other tiny prey. When it dives, it sweeps its bill from side to side along the river bottom, collecting food and storing it in cheek pouches. Then it returns to the surface to chew, using hardened grinding plates rather than true adult teeth. This feeding style may not seem dramatic like a shark attack or a mantis shrimp punch, but it is a masterpiece of quiet efficiency. The platypus does not need to see underwater. It does not need to chase large prey. It simply dives, senses, collects, surfaces, and repeats. In a world where food is hidden in mud, gravel, and underwater debris, this strategy works. It is a reminder that not all survival stories are loud. Some are silent, precise, and hidden beneath the surface of a river. And perhaps that is the real beauty of the platypus. It is not dramatic in the way we often imagine wild animals. It does not look like a powerful predator. It does not dominate its environment with size. It survives through a combination of unusual tools that work together perfectly. That is why calling it a weird animal is only the beginning. The platypus is weird, yes, but it is also brilliant. Its body is a lesson in adaptation. Its existence is proof that evolution can create solutions stranger than fiction. And its story forces us to respect animals that do not fit our expectations. When people first saw the platypus, they doubted it. But the platypus did not need to prove itself to human science. It had already been living successfully in Australian freshwater environments long before humans tried to classify it. It was not waiting for us to understand it. It was simply living, diving, hunting, nesting, raising young, surviving. That makes the platypus more than a curiosity. It is a symbol of nature's creativity. It shows that life does not always follow the rules we imagine. It shows that an animal can be soft and venomous, furry and egg-laying, awkward on land and graceful in water, strange to us, and perfectly suited to itself. This is the message at the heart of the platypus story. Do not mistake unfamiliar design for bad design. Just because a creature looks confusing to us does not mean it is confused. The platypus knows exactly what it is. It is not trying to be a duck, a beaver, a reptile, or a typical mammal. It is a platypus, one of the most unique animals on the planet. If the axolotl showed us the power of regeneration, the goblin shark showed us that frightening faces can be survival tools. The blue dragon sea slug showed us how beauty can hide borrowed weapons, and the mantis shrimp showed us that small creatures can carry incredible force. Then the platypus gives us a different lesson. Sometimes the strangest combination of features can create one of the smartest survival designs in nature. So the next time you see a platypus, do not just think of it as a funny animal with a duck bill. Think of it as a living puzzle. A mammal that lays eggs. A swimmer that hunts with electricity. A soft-looking creature with venomous spurs. A strange branch of evolution that reminds us the natural world is far more creative than our categories. The platypus may look like nature's oddest experiment, but in reality, it is one of nature's most fascinating success stories. And if a creature like this can exist in the rivers of Australia, then imagine how many other animals are still waiting to challenge what we think we know about life on Earth. If you found the platypus fascinating, stay with us, because the world of strange animals is far from over. There are still creatures with unbelievable abilities, bodies that seem impossible, and survival strategies that can completely change the way we see nature. So subscribe to the channel, and let's continue exploring the weirdest, strangest, and most fascinating creatures on our planet.